Welcome, everyone, to Courageous Creative Conquerors. This is Jean Voice Dart, author, therapist, coach, and teacher, and your host. It's my belief that everyone has a gift of creative expression. We were born to express ourselves to stay healthy and happy. It's a natural way of life. Whether you are planting a garden, writing a story, building a cabinet, designing a software program, sewing a scarf, or singing a song, it doesn't matter. What matters is expressing from the heart. And the creative and expressive arts are a healthy coping strategy that shifts us from trauma to triumph. So join me as we listen and learn key tips and techniques from our special guest and courageous creative conqueror. Welcome, everybody. This is Jean Voice Dart, and I'm here with our courageous creative conqueror, MariLynn Bolton, and I'm just so happy to be here with her. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be with you today. This is very nice.
Oh, it's my joy and pleasure to be here with you. And I'm just so excited to get to know you better and hear your story and have you share with everyone else, because your life is such an inspiration to me and to everyone.
Thank you.
So I just want to start off asking you if you could tell us a little bit where you're from and where you grew up and who in your life growing up was talented in the creative arts, music, writing, craft making, whatever. Who inspired you to be a creative person?
I'm from Indiana, from Indianapolis, right outside there is where I am right now. I grew up in Idaho and in Utah, and I'm the youngest of 7 kids. And there was always something to do outside, inside. You always find an inspiration. The music in the home, we're always finding something to do. So there's 7 people, it's a wide range of talent. We have musicians and artists, and my grandma and my mom crochet. I learned to do those type of things, played instruments. You just find something that you keep going.
Wow, it sounds like you were very, very lucky to live in such a creative family. So everyone in your family had some unique talent. And what was your talent? What did you first feel drawn to do?
I did play the viola.
Oh.
And then I was also loved writing. When I could read, but wasn't reading, I was writing, playing the instrument. I find the musicals and always had thriving on something that always had the rhythm.
Yes. And did you have a pretty normal family growing up, or did you have some unusual challenges as a child or within your family, any kind of tragedies or struggles, or did you just have a pretty enjoyable childhood?
Yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. There's always something to do. Yeah.
Yes.
I always found time to do something creative. Still find something to write, or sing. You always find something to sing or to dance, just to make stuff up and to keep a rhythm, and that's what keeps the connection alive. And so sometimes when you can't, it feels like it's hard to keep going. But that's where you do what I found. You could still do it in your mind.
Yes, yes, yes. And so you, from childhood and adulthood, you were always creating a writing or singing. And what type of music did you like the best? Did you like all music or?
Yeah, all the music. One that created the moment,
Mm-hmm.
because each of the types of different music, and it creates a moment and that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then it creates your memories, because those are all different ones you can think of that makes a connection to somebody else.
Oh, I love what you say. It makes a connection to somebody else. And tell me, what else do you get out of the expressive arts besides making connection? Is there something else that you find particularly helpful to you when you're writing or when you're singing? How does it help you?
It helps me, that besides the connections, to think about somebody else. It helps to keep a beat of, to keep going, and it keeps so soothing, or an inspiration or motivation that can be on many different levels.
Yeah, that's well said. Thank you. Thank you. So tell me now, you shared with me earlier, this group is called Courageous Creative Conquerors. So you reached out to me, you wanted me to interview you because you are a courageous creative conqueror. So what happened in your life a few years ago that really changed everything around for you?
Working, and then just I started getting headaches. It turned into migraine. I was down for a whole weekend. Just I could not get out of bed. Something just, the life storms came and got me, and that was started in 2018. That it changed my life.
Yes. How did that change your life?
Because I didn't know what kind of storm it was. And when you think you prepare for things and then things come in, I didn't know what it was, how it changed. The different diagnosis through the time. It was migraine, but it left me bedridden for a
Okay.
few months.
So you were walking and talking and working perfectly normally, and then all of a sudden you're bedridden. Is that
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Okay. And you had no idea why. And the doctors don't know, but they know that you have migraines, but they don't know why. Is that like on the MRI and things, it didn't show anything?
No, nothing showed up.
Okay.
There was a lot of diagnosis, a lot of tests to say that, oh, you're normal.
Oh my goodness.
Something's wrong.
I've heard that before. Yeah. And so how I know for me, when I couldn't walk or couldn't talk or couldn't do things, and they say, well, there's nothing wrong, how does that make you feel? I know for me, it didn't feel very good to hear
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Felt very confused and heartbroken to say that, who's gonna help me?
Ah, yeah.
And they try help the best that they can with the knowledge they have. And so
Yes.
I did too. And we want to help each other with the best that we know how.
I love the way you said that. You're such a genuine and caring and loving person. I think that's so true. When we feel frustrated and people are not doing as we expect them to do and things aren't going the way we want them to go, you just brought up, we just have to realize they're doing the best they can, feel compassion and love and gratitude for what's happening. And I think that's a beautiful attitude. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So is that how you felt most of the time? You felt okay about it, or was there more challenges in your life after that?
It kept on going.
Okay. So what happened?
Because it's a continuing, life is a continuing change.
Yes.
And the storms will come and go.
Yeah.
And just when we think that we have recognized that storm, another one comes and changes. And so we have to accept that those are going to be changes and we might not know. So the best that we can do is acknowledge that that's the storm coming we acknowledge and accept that this is the moment and we're going to get through it. And we're just going to get through it together.
It's so poetic the way you're describing it as a storm. And I feel like right now with this pandemic lasting 2 years, more than that, that, you know, this is a stormy time that goes up and down, and people have all different kinds of emotions, and they're trying to deal with it. And like you said, when it's unexpected, it's difficult, but you just have to ride it out, you know, with that good attitude.
You have to accept the moment that you're angry and frustrated. And you take that moment and say, it's just a moment. Don't take it forever to be involved with that. You have control to say, you have the mindset to say, how am I going to sit here with this emotion? You accept that this is the way it is. Now what am I going to do with it?
Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit more about what it was like at that time, starting 4 years ago and then progressing, and you're bedridden. And what was your daily routine? What was it like to be you?
Of all the many things they keep on checking off, when they thought I was having a stroke, because I would just fall down.
Yes.
My face be droopy. I lose speech.
Yes.
And I would just be staring. And I don't know, I couldn't respond. And they're like, that's clearly a stroke. And then the test go, no, it's not.
I know what you're talking about. I had that too. I'm sitting there. One side of my face is drooping down. I can't talk and I can't move. And they took me to ER and they say, no, it's not a stroke.
Yeah.
And I can't talk for the next few months. I can't, they say it's not a stroke, you know, and so what is it? What is going on? You know, and, and there's that shame and self-doubt that comes in. That's really hard.
A lot of doctors, some of the doctors just go, you're clearly fine. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
That's where the mental health part, you know, the anxiety, the depression going, well, did I do that? Wait, am I making it up? And you start doubting yourself. And the fear comes in because you don't have control over really what's going on because you don't understand it.
Right.
Like, why am I just randomly just not being able to stop to just not talk anymore?
Yes.
It's that fear. And you just, all of a sudden, you just stop walking, going, that snap of the change. And then that's why sometimes I talk so fast, because my brain and connection and everything's coming out of my mouth going, I can talk now, let it all out.
Yeah. Or sometimes you want to get as much done as possible in the next 5 or 10 minutes, then you're just going fast because you never know when you're going to collapse from fatigue. So you go fast, you talk fast, or do things fast, or you have an anxiety because you never know, in a half hour you won't be able to do anything or something. Do you feel that?
So I had to learn to do that. One is the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's life, and trying to figure out life's balance.
Yes.
Is accepting there isn't one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just be joyful in whatever you have, and don't get into anxiety wanting more than just this moment right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there is this beautiful sweetness about you of acceptance. And I can see that you've come to love your body in the unpredictability of the way it is. And that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's just so much in common.
We do. Yeah. Yeah.
I have had to have my family help me up and down. I couldn't move on my own. All of a sudden, to imagine, just take everything, you go up and down and you're fine, and then the next moment you're not. I had no control over anything.
Yes.
I couldn't speak. I can't write. I learned a little bit of sign language because when my daughter was able to, she was going through some of that to learn that. And you figure out and you adapt to go, yeah, I can still communicate somehow. So that was my daily want. You learn off the emotions, you learn off the compassions, and you take care of each other. And that's what we had to do.
Yes.
I said, well, this is it for a moment. This is temporary. Now,
Okay.
temporary, I don't know how long, a day, 3 months. Yeah, it was.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. How long?
Yeah. You don't know. But
But
you
it was a
just kept
mindset and a
going.
decision to say, I didn't want to lay there anymore. I didn't
Yes.
want to do it. I gave it a chance.
So tell me, how were the expressive and creative arts important at that time in your life compared to when you were happy and everything's great as a child? Now what happens with what you love, with the singing and the poetry and the writing, all those things now?
It was, when I was laying there, I kept on remembering that. Part was in a memory and part of it was in a, this is who I can still be. Because it's not over. It's just different.
Yes.
And that's okay.
So you were
So
able to write, you said you were able to write in your head poetry. You're able to hang on to it.
And then, so I had moments of clarity that I could put something together on the phone. And then, because I had to relearn how to write.
Yes.
And write my name and write letters. But I knew it in my head. I knew what I wanted to say. I knew it in my heart, so I never forgot it. So in the moments that I had that strength, that it was still there, I burst it out.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so you told me that you, during that time when it was very difficult, you drew this picture of your angel watching over you. Can you share that with us right now?
And so I said one at a time, and I drew my angel.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, and it's 3-dimensional. It pops off the page there. That's lovely. And is that something that you just saw in your inner vision? That?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you knew she was always with you, comforting you.
And so I took it. I said, I don't know how to do something, but I do something.
Yes.
So I just draw. And I keep going. And my kids and my husband, they said, what else now? So I pick up another one, another paper, and I do it again.
And so that drawing, you know, you're just drawing a little bit at a time, right? Because you get fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it took a lot of patience and perseverance to draw all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also gave me peace. Because when you sit there drawing, when you can't move anything else, you just let things go when you can be able to focus on something else. And when I couldn't sing anymore, and I couldn't talk sometimes, or I try to burst out all my words at once when I'm thinking my brain is not connecting with my mouth right, and I come out all gibberish. So I would just keep doing it on paper. I said, I'm going to sing again. I'm going to draw again. I'm going to walk again.
Oh, I love that because I work as an expressive arts therapist, registered, therapist, and I just saw that so often, even people comatose or people paraplegic and all different struggles, emotional and physical, and they're able to sing or they're able to write or express, and they can't do much of anything else. They have to be fed or clothed or turned or moved, you know. And so I love what you're saying and how the expressive arts were so important to you. And
Yeah.
you are writing a book. Can you
Yes.
share a little bit about that as well?
Um, this isn't my book copy, but it's Check Yourself Out.
Check Yourself Out. What a perfect title.
Yes.
Tell us what that title means to you.
Check Yourself Out is because when I was laying there, and this was my book, I wanted to do a book before I got sick.
Oh, so
And
you started it before all this happened.
yeah,
Mhm.
because I have been writing all my life, always writing a book, always writing poetry, always something, an expression. And I said, well, how am I going to do it now if I can't move? I said, well, it's not done yet, so I'm going to keep going and I'm going to get it done.
That's a great attitude. I love it. Yeah.
So check yourself out is that you have to look at the inside, that you can do something.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I am now is different than I was 3 years ago.
Yes. How are you? Tell us, how are you different now from 4 years ago?
I'm different. I walk different. I sound different, but I'm the same because my soul is still vibrating. My soul is still rising. And I still have a message and I still have connections. And there's all those things are the things that keep me going.
Beautiful. So can you read a little something from your book to us?
Yeah, I'll have to read. I have it memorized.
Okay. Yeah, but you can tell us where it is in the book, or yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is actually the poem. The title of the book is Check Yourself Out.
Okay, it's a poem.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Check yourself out. Break from the mold. Tear off the label before your heart grows old. Give yourself credit when credit is due. Inspire, enlighten, empower. Break through. Let yourself shine to see the real you. You can stand alone or with a crowd. Whatever you do, be strong and be proud. It's time to check yourself out.
Yay, I love it. I love poetry. Yeah.
And that was inspiration for this book. And that's a lot of them in there is the pull and the tug of that we all have inside ourselves. But it's that we're going to go through it together and we're going to grow together.
Yes.
And that's how the arts always been able to connect to each other.
Through the arts. Yeah, that all the arts are just so wonderful for connecting, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's some people out there like you who are going through tough times and they are courageous, creative conquerors as well, and they're trying to take that next step, but maybe they feel blocked and or feel like they've lost hope or lost confidence, you are a real inspiration to them. And can you share some tips, maybe 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 tips of what to do when you're blocked? What do you do?
You take time out because time out isn't just for children. Time out is for everybody. You take time out for yourself is one. And then you sit with yourself and you say, self, what are we going to do now? You have a choice. So first you accept, you take your time out, then you accept. This is the moment, whatever this is. This is what it is. And then you say, okay, now my choice is this. I'm going to keep moving forward. I sat with you, and now I'm going to go forward and be happy because I can do something and I can make somebody else smile because that's contagious and I can give.
That's really good advice. Thank you so much. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone before we close? And do you have another poem you could read to us?
Yeah, I do. This one is called I Woke Up Today. And this one also is what I will go through when I wake up every day. I stretch the aching bones this morning as I start waking up in bed. And I say a little prayer after shaking the cobwebs from my head. Dear Lord, thanks for letting me wake up today. There is pain in my back. My left arm fell asleep. I heard the dog bark and the loud alarm beat. Dear Lord, thanks for letting me wake up today. There is work to be done, humor, laughter to pack, smiles and hugs to give out, that I will give back. Dear Lord, thanks for letting me wake up today. Some days are overwhelming. So much pain I cannot hide. I take time out with the Lord. Together, we just cry. Dear Lord, thank you for another day to have weakness and strength. Thank you for another day to share a piece of you with me. Thank you for my friends and family. In the eyes of a stranger, I see you. In the voice of a child, I hear you. In my actions, I strive to be you. Thanks for letting me wake up today.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, you just really opened my heart today, and I'm just so grateful to God, grateful to you for allowing me to have this time with you and interview you. And I know everybody out there is just clapping and smiling and just feeling inspired by your story. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. It's so great to connect with you.
It is, and I hope we keep our friendship and keep connected, because I enjoy very much being here with you and learning all about you. Thank you. Okay, goodbye everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us today.
Bye.
Bye-bye.